Why men have to be the providers.
I don't even know what she does, but she just sits on social media and like talks about to women essentially about, you know, I think underlying tone is don't date broke men. Don't date like these, like it's a very toxic approach. But she has, I think, grabbed stronghold of a lot of women on social media who subscribe to her to think this way, to spew this rhetoric out of like what women should be looking for in men. Men are expected now to, you know, from what the sprinkle movement is, it's like men are expected to pay all the bills. Men are expected to pay for all the dates. Men are expected to pay for your nails, hair, all these things. In today's economy,
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so the thought is, it's like, why is that the norm? Why is that the expectation? What does a provider mean? Like, in my opinion, a provider doesn't mean someone who's going to pay financially for everything. That's not a provider to me. I think, you know, when someone becomes the mother of your kids or someone's raising, then there's a partnership that, you know, is communicated and talked about and understood. And if the partnership agrees on, hey, you're going to be the stay-at-home parent. I'm going to go out and chase this bag. That then is where financial, I think, moves under that umbrella of providership or being a provider. But not once do I think being a provider means when I start dating you. But it's like this sprinkle is all about the dating stage too. It's like that doesn't make sense to me.
Why men?
Miss Mo Betet, how are you doing today, ma'am?
I am well, sir. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you for waiting patiently, man. What's your thoughts on, you know, give your thoughts on what you heard, you know, this man in the audio say, and then I did see you say in the comments something about, I don't know, what did you say, men not being like providers just because they're male or something like that? Go ahead and speak on all that.
Right. Yeah. What I said, my comment was men are not providers by default.
Okay.
And they're not. Just not. Definitely agree with the statement that in dating, yeah, men are not your provider. That's not what dating is.
What do you what does a provider mean to you? Because I was saying this earlier, you know, just like seeing all these women, there's definitely not like a concrete definition to like what a man being a provider means. So what does a man being a provider mean to you?
I think it's a bunch of smoke and mirrors. I don't subscribe to it at all.
Wow.
I'm a little bit different.
Uh-huh.
So
you don't have any like financial expectations, if you will, of a man you're in a relationship with?
No, and I actually always thought it was weird for women to look for a man for their like life sustenance or whatever that is. So yeah. I personally don't advise for women to look for a man for that period. I think women should be fully self-sufficient and completely autonomous humans for the duration of their life. If you do find a man that you want to be in a relationship with, great. And y'all come to an agreement on how you want to handle finances, that's great. But a man is not a plan.
So do you think it's important for a woman to be in a relationship with a man that is on the same socioeconomic level as her?
Yes.
Okay. So you do have like a partnership mindset then.
Definitely. I don't think that men should date women that they have to fiscally be completely responsible for, you know, kind of a financial albatross around their neck, if you will, or the inverse.
So if you and I are in a committed relationship and we're cohabitating with each other, so obviously if we're cohabitating with each other, we know that there's monthly expenses, right? So if I said that, you know, let's say our monthly expenses for our living situation is $3,000 a month. If I said, you know, this is how we're going to do this. I'm going to pay $1,500 and you're going to pay $1,500. Would that be something that you would be open to doing? Would you still like, you know, respect me as a man?
Okay, so here's here's where it gets funny, because how I am, I'm not cohabitating. If we're not married, then you live where you live and I live where I live. Because remember, we were completely self-sufficient, fully autonomous human
Right.
beings when we met.
Right.
So if we're not married, we're not cohabitating. We habitate where we habitated when we met.
Right. So I want to know, as a black woman, where do you think that this? Because I'm 27 years old. I want to know, where do you think this mentality of these modern women that because the mentality that a lot of them have today is that if they're going to be in a relationship with a man, whether they're cohabitating with this man or not, this man is going to take on some sort of financial load in their life. And if he's not willing to take on some sort of financial load in their life, he's less of a man. They're not going to respect him as much. So I want to know, where do you think that mentality derived from?
Excellent question. I would say that is all in the marketing and product development on the men's side, Judeo-Christian principles, and all of the rhetoric that's out there. I mean, men get labeled all the time. You hear it wailing and flailing. Men are protectors and providers. And it's like, women don't say that. Men are the ones that keep saying that. Men are protectors and providers. Really? What does that look like? How does that work? I've never, I'm not the one that says that. The fellas are the ones that say that. It's like, okay, you said it, so now you define it. I didn't say that. I didn't even ask for that.
Okay, so you said that you're not cohabitating with a man unless y'all are married, correct?
Bingo.
Okay, so even if you're not cohabitating with the man, again, just hypothetically, just for the sake of conversation, you and I are in a relationship. I have my place, you have your place. When we go out on dates, are you expecting me, no matter what the activity is, every time? Are you expecting me to take on, are you expecting me to pay for whatever the activity it is that we do on these dates that we go on? So whether we go do a sip and paint, whether we go bowling, whether we go out for dinner, and this is every time. So if I take you out, if I take you on 3 dates in a month, are you expecting me to, pay 100% of the dates every time we go out on a date?
Nope.
So okay, so what are you looking for then? What? So you just told me that you're not expecting me to pay 100% every time. What would be ideal for you?
It's whatever is fair and reasonable. Like it is really not that hard. And I never make it this difficult. I've taken men out and paid for the date. I've planned elaborate, really nice dates. I do the whole thing. Pick you up, drive you, take you out for the whole shebang. Roses and all of the things. Like, why not?
Is that right?
Yeah, why not? Now, understand, at the end of the day, you putting out. I mean, that's how that go too. But
Look. We don't got no problem putting out.
I mean, hey, that you gonna get, it's the full boat now. Okay, but
Wait,
but that's how.
what age demographic of men are you interested in dating?
And see, and that's where the cheese slide off the cracker, because I didn't stop that. But when I was in the game, yeah, I had no problems with that. I buy gifts, and I love to curate special gifts based on exactly what that man was interested in and what I heard he wanted. I've tracked down specialized items specifically because of a thing that man wanted. There are women out here who want to do those things, who love to do those things, but they're not the women that are the classic that a lot of men are looking for. These are the women, the unconventional looking ones. These are the women with the flat asses. That's the hill. That's the hill I'm forever gonna die on. Okay, I'm here to represent for the IHOP pancake booty bitches. That's my thing. But yeah, these are the women that don't look exactly the look that men be looking for, and so a lot of men zoom right past that.
Okay. Well, since you brought up the IHOP pancake booty bitches, since okay, I'm going to ask you like a serious question. Do you think that the IHOP pancake booty bitches need, because they're IHOP pancake booty bitches, they need to kind of, let's say a man that's short, right? Let's say a man is like 5'6", 5'7", so he's not this 6 foot plus tall man that all these women be saying that they desire. He kind of has to make up for his, thank you, compensate. He has to compensate for his lack of height in other areas. Do you think that the IHOP pancake booty bitches need to compensate for the fact that they not walking around with the Betty Crocker cake? So maybe I need to kind of put out financially for a man, even though that's not necessarily what I want to do.
No,
Honestly,
no, and he don't either. I've dated. I'm 5'8". I've rarely dated men taller than me. So no, I don't think so.
wow.
Yeah, I told you.
Did you say when you said okay? So did you when you said you out the game? Does that mean like you've been taken off the market, or you just not interested in dating right now?
I'm not dating. Have not dated for years. Have no intentions.
Oh, may I ask why that is?
I'm just not interested in being in a relationship. Don't have the time. Don't have the will. Don't just no, not for me.
Is there a possibility that there could be a young man out there that could maybe change your mind?
It could happen. It's just not something I'm actively interested in. If I do happen to meet and it does happen to happen, great. I love love, but I also love where I'm at.
Okay, and I'm not being facetious or trying to be funny at all with this next question that I'm about to ask you. But are you kind of turned off of dating because you had like a very bad experience the last time
No,
around, and you might be a little emotionally damaged?
no, not at all. Actually, quite the opposite. And see that be the thing with the men's is a lot. And I get it because a lot of women are that way because they're
Right.
like, oh, that man did. No, I've done the work, done the therapy work, done all of the things, got myself together physically, emotionally, spiritually, my work life, all of the things. I have my interests, my hobbies here on TikTok, all of that. I have a full and happy life. So I'm not bereft or missing a piece. So that doesn't lead me to search or to be longing, for something. And I think that's the dangerous place a lot of times with people who are like, oh my God, I need somebody. And that pushes you to accept anything or something less than what you should have rather than be in a completely fulfilled space such that there's nothing that you're like, oh my, I gotta have it. And that when something great does come along, because you are a whole and fulfilled person, when that person comes along, you're in such a great space that you can accept that and work with that and move with that competently without falling in pitfalls and all the crap and all the rest of the stuff, people tend to do. But if it doesn't happen, you still okay. Nothing wrong with it.
Okay, I want to believe that even though you say that you haven't dated in years, I want to believe that there have been men that have tried to pursue you, or just try to even get to know you. Have you even entertained hearing what these men have had to say, or have you just completely blocked them out?
Oh no, I'd entertain. There's a very quick introductory questionnaire.
Okay. So are you saying that they've been failing the questionnaire then, or not scoring high enough?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, listen, Miss Botet, Miss Mo Betat, listen, whenever you're interested in dating again, I think I know a young man. This man has a career, You know, he's taller than you. You know, he's handsome. You know, he got you know, you know, I think he would score very well on your questionnaire. So whenever you ready to start dating again, you know,
Now, Mr. Noble.
you just hit me up and I could connect you with the young man.
Now, Mr. Noble.
I think he'll score well on your questionnaire.
Now, Mr. Noble, how old is it? Do you think I am, sir?
Do you want me to really tell you how old I think you are?
Indeed, I do. I asked the question earnestly.
Can I give like a 5-year age range?
Absolutely. I do promise you, I will not be offended no matter what the number is.
See, that's why I don't want to do that. See, Black Man, that's why I asked her, like, do you really want me to do that? Because I'm not trying to offend anyone or be disrespectful. I'm gonna say between 40 and 45.
Oh, well, damn.
All right.
Yeah, I'm 48. I'll be 49 in December. Damn, I'm doing better than I thought.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So listen, I know a young man. You know, I just think, you know, okay, let me ask you this though. Has there been a specific age demographic that you've, you know, been, you know, giving these men the opportunity to take this questionnaire?
Nope.
Okay. Do you have children?
One.
How old is your child?
24. Out the door. Been out the door. Empty nester in here loving life. What?
Okay. So would you, I mean, I'm assuming you're not on some Drea time, right? Like you're not about to date someone that's your child's age, right?
Absolutely not.
But would you at least hear someone out that was maybe a few years older than your child?
Nope. Because listen, because let me tell you. Okay? So, with my spectrum brain and as much information as I have, if I can't sit down and we can't have a cogent, competent conversation where I can walk through the likes of the first Beverly Hills Cop, all the way through the current Bad Boys that just came out, we can't talk. I can't. What I'm gonna do with that?
Okay, let me tell you this though. I think a lot of times, first of all, this is my personal opinion. I don't think a lot of women are against dating younger men because younger men don't stimulate them mentally. Because there are a lot of mature young men that like really have their head on straight, taking care of their business, and are actually very mature and can actually stimulate you mentally. You know, obviously there's an age gap, so like there's a lot of things that they're just not going to be hip to from your era, and vice versa. But you know, there's things like y'all can talk about, and you know, they can stimulate you mentally. And I think a lot of times younger women just don't even give young men a try, a chance at bat, and that's why I think they kind of make dating even harder on themselves. What do you have to say to that?
Okay, here's the thing though, and I put it in the comments. But then on the other side, y'all drag older women who date younger men. Y'all be like, oh, these cougars.
Who be doing that?
There's lives all right now. Talking about,
Who be doing? No.
dating 32
No, we're not gonna do that.
Chevalier, come on,
listen.
give me sis.
Listen, it's one thing.
On this one, sis.
No, listen. It's one thing, right? It's one thing if you're a 48, let's say you a 50-year-old woman and you have a 23-year-old son or daughter, and you're out here trying to date people that are the same age as your child. That, you know, depending on, you know, everyone's different, but that can look a little funny in the light. But like young men, the way men are when they're younger, they like older women. And then when they get older, they start liking younger women. So
wait. Okay, I give you this one. Okay, so you know the dude on here, Jordan the Stallion. He looks
yeah.
brother. Okay, he's 28. He's only 4 years older than my son.
Yeah. What's the problem?
So before I knew that, I had so many thoughts about this young man. I had to pray about it to go ahead and be resolved with it. But yeah, him. Okay, yeah, I could see that, but can't do it. Can't do it.
Why though?
At 48, I could go 35. That's the That's it. That's where I cut it.
Look, I'm gonna say this. Again, I really think that's why as men get older, men don't look at it, and obviously I'm a young man, but men don't look at it like that. Like a man that's 34, he don't look at like a 25-year-old woman and be like, she's 25. And that's why, like, as especially, this, like for men, as they become more accomplished and successful and make more money as they get older, that's why for some men, their dating options can open up. I just think women make it hard on themselves when they don't want to date younger. And as someone that has relationships with older women, like, you just told me, because like, bro, look, respectfully, y'all all be like, what you told me is not anything that I haven't heard before. So I say that to say a lot of y'all are having the same experiences dating men in your age demographic, and maybe men that are a little younger, and they're not positive experiences. So like, how many times do you do the same thing and like, try to expect a different result? I think if a lot of older women started trying to date, just give younger men a chance, because some of y'all do be having younger men that be trying to talk to y'all. Some of y'all look good and y'all be trying to have younger men holla at y'all and y'all just ignore them. But the men in your age demographic and a little younger, y'all aren't impressed. So I don't understand why y'all don't give young men a chance.
You're assuming I've never dated younger men, though.
No, I'm not talking about you specifically, man.
Okay.
I'm just saying women in general.
Gotcha.
But that's just matter of fact, let me play this audio for you, and then Miss how do you say your name, ma'am? I don't like butchering people's names. How do you?
Shavazia.
Shavazia. Let me play this audio. I want to hear what Miss Mo Betat has to say, and then I'll get to you. Give me 1 minute. I'm sorry though, man. I just think I don't be understanding that, because that's what I'll be telling them. It's like, well, if you're having these experiences dating, men that are in your age demographic, how much longer are you going to be trying to date these men before you try something different? Because obviously it's not working and you're not enjoying it. Let me just play something, and I want to just hear what you have to say about it. Just give me a second here. It's on my backup page. 1 second.
This is such a conversation. I'm glad I popped in here.
I'm glad you popped in here too, man. Maybe after we have this conversation, just think about it. Maybe I can connect you with that young man, and and
it's Mo Better, like the movie.
Mo Better. Thank you.
Like Mo Better Blues.
Okay, yeah. I got the video. Hold on.
The older women get, especially when they get older, like their choices in men just diminish. That's just what it is, because women seem to want to date older guys, right? Like they don't date younger, they date older. So what happens is when women start to age, they start to look at men who don't look at them as an eligible candidate as weird. Like, for example, a girl who's 25, I'll just not even use any names. A girl who's 25, or let's say 23, she's 23. She meets a guy who's 30, right? She's not thinking about like, yo, I'm mad younger than her. I'm like, oh, it's cool. Now, let's fast forward 5-6 years into it. So now the girl who's 23, she's 28. The guy's not 35. She finds it weird that the guy's 35, but will date another 23-year-old. Why? It's more of a reflection of herself. He don't want a 27-year-old, or he might not want a 28-year-old. Or it might be one of those things where like, now you're 30, he don't want a 30-year-old. He want another 25-year-old. And what I realize what women do is that they turn that into shaming mechanisms, right? Like, yeah, you just want a girl that you could control. You just want a chick who's young. Like, well, I met you when you were 24. You're just now 32. I want another 24-year-old, right? Women use a lot of shame and tactic that comes from their own insecurities about aging, right? And it's kind of odd because, not odd, but it's interesting because women put themselves in that same boat because they are unwilling to date younger. Like, they don't want to date young men. They only want to date, well, unless Drea and some of these other bitches. But I hope you, are you guys getting what I'm trying to say? Now, here's the thing. This all funnels and fuels into bitter bitch syndrome, the BBS, right? The bitter bitch syndrome is usually an older woman who's watching a guy who she used to date, or she may have, like, oh, I spent my 20s with you, and now you don't want to date a 35-year-old woman no more. You still want another young girl in her 20s. They demonize the fuck out of that. Yeah, this nigga's now weird. He's a creep. He's this, he's that. Yo, why is he still dating girls in their 20s? Like, no. You're only mad because you're 37, okay? And I'm sorry. At 37, there's not a bunch of people below 40 running to come date you normally, right?
So, Miss Mobetta, what are your thoughts on what you just heard? And Miss Shavazia, I'm coming right to you. But and then we're also going to speak really quick, Miss Mobetta. You said socioeconomic status with younger men can be a challenge. So in addition to whatever your thoughts are on the audio that I just played, you just said that you're not cohabitating with like a man that you're not married to, and you also said that you have no problem taking men on dates, paying for dates. So at the end of the day, you're not going to be taking care of this man financially, and you're also not expecting him to take care of you financially. So I'm trying to understand where socioeconomics is even playing a factor into this. But go ahead. I want you to speak.
So I said I'm not necessarily taking care of him, but that doesn't mean that he can necessarily match my fly either. So I may take you on a date, but if we're supposed to go on vacation, that didn't mean that I'm going to pay for your vacation, but that don't mean that you can necessarily pay your way either.
Okay.
Because it's going to look mad crazy for me to be in the penthouse with the butler and you in your little single room on the other side of the resort.
Hold on now. So if we go on vacation, okay, us not cohabitating is one thing. But you're telling me that if we're dating and we go on vacation, like we're not going to be in the same place when we go on vacation?
If he's not able to fund that every time, like I'm not fit. Look, I vacation multiple times a year, sir. I'm not fitting to double fund that like all the time. Like, come on now. If we just date, because that's like $20,000-$30,000 a year extra. I'm not doing that.
Okay, Miss Mobetta, where do you normally? Where are some? Not asking you where all you've been. What's up, Cartel? I see you in here, by the way. Not asking you where all you've been. Where are some places that you like to vacation, and how often? Like, how many days do you consider a vacation? Are you someone that you like to go somewhere for 3 or 4 days and be out? Or are you someone that likes to go somewhere for 6-7 days and be out? Because I can tell you, Miss Mobetta, like I said, there are a lot of young men that they have careers, they're childless, they are more than financially stable, they are loaded financially. I'm telling you, because I am one of these people. I can, people on here, I've told people about this, Miss Mobetta. I don't have any kids. I don't have any responsibilities other than myself. Most of the time when I travel, it's like a last minute thing because I can get up and go anywhere whenever I want to. I don't have any kids to look after. I don't have any dogs to look after. I can come and go as I please. I can do whatever I want. So when you talk about him not being able to do that every time, there are a lot of young people that are traveling, Miss Mobetta. I don't know if you don't see us, but there are a lot of young people that travel very often throughout the year, domestically and internationally.
Mo, do you want me to take it?
Yeah, go ahead. Catch my lightweight.
So I think what the what she's trying to say is that the equivalent vacations are not there because we've been in the workforce. You know, if you're talking about a woman that's in her, you know, late 30s, early 40s, you know, and above, she has amassed a certain amount of wealth so she can go on trips. She can go on, you know, 14-day cruises, which is going to run you $14,000 to $20,000. And she can do that several times a year. Now, does he want to go half on the room? Can he afford to, you know, come up with 11,000 to, and can he take 14 days off several times a year? It's just, if he's still building his career, you know, taking that sort of time off is not really, I mean, especially depending on what sort of career he's in. A lot of times people are on their grind in those early years. You know, if you're trying to make partner at a firm, you've got to be there. If you're trying to, you know, work your way up in a, you know, corporate America, you have to be there. As, you know, a person that's in their 30s and 40s has already spent, you know, 10, 15 years in the workforce. And so they have the time. They've saved up their PTO and they can take that time off. And so it's just kind of hard to see an equivalent where, you know, he can do what I can do. We can split it down the middle sort of action.
Okay, I want to say something really quick, and then you can tap in, Blackmail. Okay, I hear what you just said, Miss Shavazia, but like if we just be realistic, and I'm not saying that you weren't being realistic, but I think just personally that you and Miss Mo Better are kind of like talking about anomaly women right now. We know that the average Black woman that's less, whether she's in her late 30s, whether she's in her early or mid 40s, she doesn't even have $14,000 to $20,000 to her name, let alone $14,000 to $20,000 to spend on a vacation. So like we if we just be 100% real, 1 out of 10 women is even able to do that. And that 1 out of 10 women, she's probably not working for a corporation. She's not working for some little business nowhere. She's not working for no little company anywhere. Like we just gotta be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, I don't even like, you know, I think when we have these conversations, we gotta talk about like what's really going on. Like that's just not common. It's not even a bunch of, not even just Black men and Black women, just men and women in general that, you know, can take 14-day cruises in the south of France that cost $20,000, you know, for the 7 days. Like that's just not realistic for 90% of people.
You can say that it's not realistic for 90%, but the woman that you're talking about is the woman that you were speaking with, the woman that can do that. So that's why she's saying it wouldn't be an option for her, because she works in corporate America. She's been in there for over a decade. And so she has the expendable money to be able to do that. So a gentleman, you know, 10, 15 years younger than her is probably not, I mean, we're talking about, you know, higher up, you know, in either government, you know, those women are just not usually hooking up with men, you know, 15 years their junior, for actual relationships. They may hook up with them for an evening, but not for actual relationships.
And Noble, and actually, see, this shit is happening in the comments right now. This is why I usually don't even bother to.
You can go after her, Blackmail. I'm sorry, Miss. Go ahead, man.
Because they lacing up in the comments right now. She lying. Ain't no way. Da, 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 da. I'm like, you know what? What? This is why I don't bother. Because for what?
Well, comment section is gonna be comment section, sis. This is a wild place, so I mean, don't get discouraged on that. But the point that Noble was trying to make, I was gonna make, because this is the thing: we get up and we talk about ourselves, and I don't know about anybody else in this panel, but when I try to talk about stuff, it's about what's happening in mass, because our community is suffering, and majority of people in our community are listening to certain things we say, and they're attributing that to the majority, and it's just not the case. If you go, so there's I looked at Social Security .gov, the SSA.gov website. The average earning for black women aged 20 to 59, from 20 to 29 is 21,000. 30 to 39 is 34,600. 40 to 49 is 41,900, and 50 to 59 is 45,100. So that's the point I was going to make that Noble was making, is that we like to look at the top 3%, and men and women both do this, right? This is not a woman thing. We like to look at the top 3 to 6% of us black folks and try to attribute that to everybody, when the vast majority is they just don't have it that way. So when we talk about dating and stuff, we need to be talking more on the average, so the average person could see themselves in it and not have an elevated view or a grandized view of themselves of what they think should be going on. Because social media, we touch millions. We have the ability to touch millions. So that's all it was. He wasn't really talking about you, Mo Better. He was talking about in general, majority women, majority men. In general, this is not really going on. It might be your life, might be his life, because he's shooting a shot. He definitely shooting a shot, right? He's persistent. I can attest to that. He's persistent.
Listen, okay, buckshot, sniper for all of you. I got you.
Who's it?
She said she taking the men out on dates. What? She said she paying, buying gifts. What you mean?
He's shooting Uzi rounds over here. So, I just want to put that out there. He's shooting a shot, but that is not the majority. And when we speak about stuff, y'all talk about yourselves. And now we got to talk about the greater society of black folks. That's not.
You know what? Let's go there though. Let's go there though. So and thank you, because that, like you said, like Black Male just said, that's what I was saying. But like, if we're gonna talk about socioeconomics in that circumstance, Miss Mo Betta and Miss Shavazia, the average black man, in his late 30s, early mid 40s, he can't afford to do that either. So what are we really talking about? What are we really talking about? So you're talking about, well, the younger man socioeconomically, he may not be able to match me if that's what you're doing. But the man that's in your age demographic, the average 9 out of 10 black men, not even just black men, 9 out of 10 men are not going to be able to match you in that instance either, if that's what you're doing. But me personally, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not someone that's not something that I'm really even interested in doing. And everyone's different. It's not because I can't afford to do it, but if vacation to you is spending, I don't know, 14 days in the Maldives and paying $20,000, that's cool. But that's not everyone's cup of tea. And if that's a problem, you know what I'm saying, then
to be clear, that wasn't my vacation. I didn't get that quote.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm a 5 to 7 day and about $5K a pop.
Come on now.
What?
You think a lot of men in their late that's what I'm saying, Black. That's very doable. 5K? Do you know how many of us young people, how many young black people go to Turks and Caicos every year? That's between 5 and 6K, 5K, easy.
Listen, when I be out there, I see y'all out there.
That's very doable. What are you talking about?
Listen, I'll be doing the wobbles and all that with y'all out there. I love y'all in the line dances. Y'all be lit.
Right. Well, 5K is super light. What are you talking about? Come on now. I thought you was really on some Miss Shavazia time. Like, yeah, I'm going to damn somewhere that, you gotta have like three Audemars Piguets to even vacation there. Like, no, 5K. What? These young people so financially irresponsible. They spending 5K a month on credit cards.
I know. Totally understand.
Like, come on now, Louis. If we gotta, come on now, 5K.
Okay, so granted, Mo Betta is talking about herself. She's not talking about, like I was talking about, how much it would be for a family to go.
Okay.
So it wouldn't just be like if the gentleman was coming along and then, that the lady had a son that's like 14, so she can't just leave him at the house.
Right.
So she's also got to, I got to get another estate room for him, because he, if we gonna have fun, he can't be in the room with us, so, it's, it costs more when it's a family as opposed to if it's just one person.
Absolutely. The more people, the
And-
higher the cost gonna be. Absolutely.
To black males, when he was shooting the shot, he was talking about her specific, and so she's told me about her vacation, and so I went on the things that I saw in the pictures, and so how much I was thinking that was going to run her. She, of course, she got it for less than what I was talking about, and she did go by herself, so I can see how that would happen. But yeah, it's.
Let me tell y'all something real quick.
We're talking about her
this
specifically, not the diaspora of all black women. And I mean, yeah, you're going to get a different type of black woman in every person that you ask. But some of the things that Mobetta was talking about earlier when we were talking about the prompt, as far as going Dutch on dates, paying for certain dates, especially I am married now, but before we got married, we did not live together prior to the marriage. And so I paid my bills and he paid his bills. I didn't require him to pay anything at my house because those were my bills. I had a child that I brought to the marriage. I paid for everything for her that was not his child. And so I didn't expect for him to finance anything with that child. And I don't know why a person would talk to a person. Now, if you want to do it out of the kindness of your heart, but if somebody's requiring you to do something that you're not, able or want to do, then that's not something that you should be, that's not somebody you should really be considering for a lifelong commitment to. Like, because she's always going to have that entitlement.
Look, let me give y'all a little fun fact about Noble. Some of y'all already know this. I haven't been on this app since like October of last year. But listen, Noble grew up playing basketball, AAU basketball. Noble played college ball. Noble has been damn near everywhere domestically. Okay. Noble has been to Vegas 4 times. He hasn't even been to Vegas since he's been 21. And Noble has also been to 7 countries. Noble spent 16 days in Spain, like in Madrid and Barcelona. Noble been to London. Noble been to Paris. Noble been to Amsterdam. Noble been to the Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Like 5K? Come on now. 5K? Man, come on, Miss Mobetta. 5K. I'm thinking you was talking about, I'm thinking you was on some Miss Shavazia time. 15, 20K. That's why I'm like, no, 5K? There's a bunch of men, like 5K is light.
Listen,
People be spending 5K domestically after them damn Airbnbs and all the money that they spend when they go there with all the people that they be with. What? 5K?
well, the crying and sliding down the wall I have heard. So, if you say so, I'm gonna let you have that one.
Yes, I just. Did you ever tell me what you thought about what he said in the video though? Because we kind of got off track with the socioeconomics.
Oh, so I agree part of it. Definitely a lot of women, as we age, yeah, we do have a tendency to want to look for men our age, and of course, men our age are like, yeah, I finally got it. Let me give me the young one.
Right.
I finally, I made it, mama.
Right.
So, yeah, that is absolutely fair. Is what it is. And then obviously, for us, we're like, oh crap. I don't know that I'm thoroughly convinced about the whole younger man thing.
Do you think you're not thoroughly convinced because of how, respectfully, how like you women have programmed each other to think? Like I'm being so I don't get how like men y'all age have no problem dating younger women. They don't care that y'all try to shame them. But and this is my personal opinion. I think y'all don't want to date younger men because of other women's opinions, not because of men's opinions. Because most men not really gonna care because they not dating women y'all age anyways. They trying to get with the 27 to 32-year-old. So I don't understand why y'all don't want to date younger men.
No, actually, that don't have nothing to do with. Let me run some by you. What I do with my life and my pocketbook, either one of them don't have nothing to do with something some other woman is thinking out of her, either one of her pocketbooks. Number one.
The pocketbook, she ain't talking about money for y'all that is not keeping up with it. She's not talking about money.
Right, yeah, there you go. That's how you know I'm old.
Hey, black male only a few years older than you. You know.
That's one of those, if you know, you know. But it's more so about just, I mean, listen, men are men. Y'all vary slightly, depending on which epoch you find them in. Okay, but men are men. So you really just come to the end of it and say, for the whole prospect of dating thing, period, is this an endeavor of which I want to enter in at this point in my life, period? And there may be a conflation between that determination and the shaming thing of which you refer. I would offer that.
Hey, 1 second, Noble. The reason I came up because I wanted to speak to something you was talking about, the age thing, 48, and she said she had a 24-year-old.
Yeah, she got a 24-year-old.
Yeah, it brought back a memory because that's what old people do. When somebody say something, they get a memory, it just pop up. So back in 1998, they had a movie called Stella Got a Groove Back. When I tell you I took like 4 different women to that. 4 different women to that damn movie and sealed a deal with each for them. And the oldest was 48, and I was 24. So yeah. I mean, it's a whole stigma there. But when that movie came out, that erased a lot of that stigma because I was in them streets.
Oh, but black male, do you know how horrific that actual movie turned out to be? It's funny that you brought that up as a reference.
Yeah. No, I know realistically how it did. I'm just speaking to my experience. When you 20 something, you're not worrying about all that stuff, sister.
Exactly.
I don't worry about none of that.
And so in it, under the guise of dating younger men, now as an older woman, you have to ferret out. Do you have one of those, how Stella got a groove back, I just want to knock you down? Or do you have someone like Noble who may be truly trying to find someone?
And look, I'm not gonna be disingenuous. And what I'm about to say isn't pertaining to me. I'm just speaking for young men in general. Like older men. Well, I can't even speak from that perspective. I can say what I think, because I'm not in my 30s or 40s, but I think like when older men, like you said, like bro, I was talking about this earlier. A lot of men, like when they're coming up, they don't really have the opportunity to be with the woman that they actually want to be with because women do and have always and always will be attracted to older men because of what older men can do for them. So a lot of these men, they go through college, they go through their 20s, and they finally, maybe in their early 30s, hopefully, sometimes they get to a point where it's like, okay, like I got the money now, I got the crib now, I got the car now, and now I can actually deal with these women that I want to deal with. And they be younger women. But they, especially like the ones that are family minded, they're not dealing with these women just for the fun of dealing with them. They actually they just want to like be with a younger woman, like reproductive reasons and everything. But I say that to say, I'm not going to be disingenuous. A lot of younger men that whether, even if they find, because look, men just are attracted to fine women, no matter like what age she is legally. Right. But I say that to say, like most of the time when they're dealing with like older women, it's more so for the thrill. It's not because they really want to be in a committed, exclusive relationship with this older woman, especially if he's a childless man and he knows that he eventually wants to have a family and wants to have kids. Come on now. Like especially when this woman already has kids, he knows that he's not about to get, he's not trying to get no woman that's over 40 years old pregnant. He's not trying to get no woman that's in her late 30s pregnant and start a family with her. He's trying to start a family with, a woman his age or a little younger, So I can be honest and say that most young men that deal with older women is just doing it for the thrill. But I'm not a woman, and I can't tell you how to discern, the young man that you're dealing with, whether he's serious or whether he's not serious.
So it's either that, or on the flip side, they're looking for a woman to take care of the kids they have. And so for that reason, I refuse to date a man with minor age children because I don't like children.
Oh, of course not. Definitely not at your age. Shit. I wouldn't even, I think that would be even kind of weird to even if let's say you was dating a man that was like 33 or 34, and let's say he had like a 11 or 12-year-old. I think that would be kind of weird for you to be like about to be 50, being stepmom to I wouldn't even think you would want to do that. I think you should either stay away from like young men that got kids, or like deal with younger men that they're if they do got a kid or kids, their mother is involved in their life and they're not trying to have you take on that role. But the safest thing to do would be to just avoid those men, if you ask me.
And so what you said, no, I think the older women want fun too. Like they live their life. They probably been married. If they're lucky, they got married, they had kids, they did all this life stuff, but now they're in a position where they're kind of bored with that normalcy.
Black male. I'm not gonna say too much. I know. I've been knowing since I've been 23 years old. I know. And that's what you just said. That's one of the reasons. But like, bro, that's why I'm saying they're not wary of what other men think. Men don't care. Men gonna be cheering that young man that you dating with. They gonna be cheering him on. Y'all are worried about what other women think. Cause I don't understand why you would you already don't like the men that's y'all age. That's not, they don't be liking the men that's their age. These men be having beer guts, bald headed, ugly, just y'all don't be finding these men attractive, and then y'all got these younger men that actually find y'all attractive and want to deal with y'all, but y'all worried about what some other woman is gonna think. When you like you said, she worried about your pocketbook, she needs to be worried about hers. So hey, y'all better live y'all life. Y'all only got one life to live. Y'all want to feel young and vibrant anyways. A medium ugly man with a little belly is perfect for me. Okay. But if you got men that ain't medium ugly with a little belly that like you, why not deal with them either? And they don't got no kids, why not deal with them? I'm not telling y'all what to do. I'm just Miss Ryder, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you? You're like the first person who got my name right off the bat.
I'm doing well, man. What you got to contribute?
So I was gonna say, I feel like everyone does say this about the men wanting younger women, but I feel like that's not always the case because I like younger and I like older men, right? But sometimes the men will, from what I hear from some of my guy friends, I guess from this app that are older, and there's other man that I was talking to, like sometimes they don't want the younger woman because they think the younger woman is gonna want too much. And maybe they don't want to spend on the younger woman. That's what it's giving me. And I even had this man tell me, because he was dating a woman his age at the time. He was like in his mid-40s. He said, well, sometimes older women, they're just happy to have a man in general. So yeah, I don't even have to pay anything. She pays everything for me. So I feel like they be wanting to experience that versus knowing like if they're dealing with me, who is like 20 years younger than them, that's not gonna be how it's gonna go.
Listen, that what he told you about, whether it's a good or bad thing. I'm gonna just say this: there's a lot of older women, whether they're divorcees, I don't know, whether they just single moms, whether they don't even got no kids, like they empty nesters. Trust me, they don't be doing anything at nighttime. They probably watching something like on Netflix or one of these streaming services. And they got all the availability and all the time to chat with whoever. Trust me, I know. Am I lying, Miss Mo Better?
Woo, had to come find the mute button. Say that again.
There are a lot of older women that, you know, they live in all by themselves, whether they never had kids before, whether they're a divorcee, whether they just an empty nest of their kids, grown and gone on their own, and they got all the time and all the availability in the evening and the nighttime to chat with whoever, to go out. They just be, you know, watching different stuff on the streaming services. And am I lying about that stuff?
I mean, yeah, do they have the time? Technically, yes.
And the African drum be bumping, be beating over there.
No, but you're missing what I'm saying. What they're basically saying, or what I'm getting from it, or maybe it's just me. Sorry, I'm like talking with my mouth full. They're saying that the older lady will want less, essentially. I guess the young girl is gonna want too much. I don't really know.
I'm just saying, like how you said, like you know, a lot of these older women just be wanting the man.
Well,
you
that's
know,
what he
like I
says.
said, whether that's a good thing or bad thing, I agree with that. I think they be like, come on, man, they be they be wanting some companionship. They be wanting somebody to talk to and things of that nature. Like, you just got to be real about it.
And what you're saying is kind of true. I'm 50. I'm gonna go ahead and date myself. I'm 50. So what you're saying is kind of true, but the reason why is it's not like it sounds. Think about this. Younger women worry about more stuff than older women worry about. Like younger women on this social media shit, right? This whole Cheesecake Factory bullshit that, oh, your man can't take the Cheesecake Factory, right? All these viral moments. You got younger women, they'll deal with that stuff. Like they'll base their life on some of this stuff, and you have to go through that as an older man dealing with a younger woman. I don't want no woman in their 20s. I don't want that. I've been there. And when I was in my 20s, I wasn't dealing with women in my age, you know? So I don't want that personally, right? There's a lot of men that don't want that because they don't have to go through all that. It's a headache. You know, it's actually a headache to deal with some of this stuff that's going on today. So yeah, I understand what he's saying. And in theory, yeah, that's exactly right. But there's a reason behind that. It's not really about finances. It's about everything that comes with younger women when you have to deal with them.
No, but OG, and I'm glad you said that because I've always said this too. That's the difference. No, older men, you dealing with a younger woman. No, you coming off some bread. You are 100% coming off some bread. And I've been saying, and that's why a lot of older men do not even get the opportunity to really date younger women for real. Because it's not like these younger women just actually find these men to be physically attractive.
I
and
do.
actually find them to be charming. No, these men, a lot of these men are paying to play. That's what's really going on.
No, but what I said earlier, it stands in this point too, right? About the ego. That's about ego with these older men, and they're willing to pay the money just to satisfy their ego. I don't think they should do it, but they do it.
And you see the thing, OG, is that as a young man, it's not pay to play when you're dealing with a younger woman or an older woman. Like if there's any like transactions involved, she's the one that's probably funding more of the transactions than you. The older woman just really wants your companionship, your physicality. That's it. You're not doing the most. You older men that you want to deal. You trying to deal with a woman like my sister, Miss Bo Better. That's what I'm saying. I know a young man that can pass that questionnaire. Trust me. We love
a situation. A man is gonna get.
No. You got to run that. You got to run that. She paying Mo back part though. Yeah. No. Okay, let's be clear. I work in finance, so I will run
in finance too.
And please understand, I definitely ain't carrying more to load. We keep that shit equal.
Okay, but look though. Look though. You said again. I have to reiterate. You said y'all not cohabitating. Y'all would go on trips. You'll buy him gifts and he'll buy you gifts, but it's like
that shit you just said, more than likely she gonna be paying more of it. Nah, absolutely the fuck not. I'm not.
She said that with a whole damn chest.
Okay.
But that's
I'm on the spectrum, and I will keep them totals to the penny, and I will know where I sit.
But that's kind of delusional though, because that's like a 1 in a million chance if you're an old
What'd you say? We died. You went out.
like
We died. What'd you say? You went out.
Action is more common than you think, sister. It's really more common than you think.
oh my god, hold on. Wait, can you guys hear me or not? Because I don't know what the heck is going on.
We can hear you now, but your bar is like red.
Bro, ever since
We can hear
ever
you
since
now.
I got off of that, bro, ever since I got off of that 1 month TikTok jail thing, they've really been flagging me. But I'm not calling you old. I just meant in general, like nobody really wants to be with an older person unless they're footing the bill. Like it's very rare. I do believe it's possible, but if the person is significantly younger, then they're obviously going to want you to fork up the money.
Yeah, especially as a young man, though. I don't know no young man that is dealing or would want to deal with an older woman that is like having. I don't even want to use the word strenuous financial demands, but having too much of financial demands because we already deal with that dealing with women our age to start off with. So like if I'm going, go up the ladder, mama, your time has came and passed, respectfully. So don't be. I shouldn't. My experience with you
I don't
shouldn't be the
agree with
same.
that.
Hold on, my experience with you should not be the same as my experience with a 27 or 28-year-old. It just should. They can't be the same.
I don't agree with that. I just think like I think the priorities are different. No, I don't agree with that. Like your time is past, mama. I don't agree with that because there's older women and they're fine
No.
as hell.
When I say your time has passed, obviously there's older women that are very attractive, and that's why young men want to deal with them. But I'm just saying, if an older woman is having the same demands as you and other women in our age demographic, I think that's a problem. From a young man, I think that's a problem. Why would
I agree with you.
why would I deal with you and you're trying to have the same demands as the woman that's my age? No,
I agree with
the
you.
game don't work like that.
I agree with you. It's like an older man. Like if an older man came in front of me and he said, "Hey, let's go 50-50," I would literally. I'm honestly
like,
gonna
what
rip
are you
his.
talking about?
I'm gonna rip his hip. I'm gonna rip his hip replacement out. Honestly, because that's the most delusional shit I've heard all year. You know exactly what time it is.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
What do you mean?
We both know what time it is. Like, so like let's not be over here trying to like finesse the other person. Like, you getting what you want to get out of this, and I'm getting what I want to get out of this. And this goes both ways. And how does the saying go? Like there's no, what is the little fair robbery, fair exchange, whatever?
No robbery and fair exchange.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but that's the thing though. I feel like now older women are starting to say that even though they already understood what time it was, because older men really did internalize and believe the lie that was told to them. Nobody wants to sit beside a dirty old man unless he's paying your bills. I'm sorry. You guys are not that interesting. You're not that funny, right? It's very rare. Right, they're not attractive either. Like it's very rare for them to be attractive. And so unless you're really forking over the bills, right? Nobody wants you.
But it's that way no matter what age the man is. It's that way.